All right, another episode of the podcast is underway. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm excited today because I'm back in Vermont, and I'm with a singer-songwriter, Jenna, who I met in 2016. Now, she's from the Heartland, Woodstock, Wethersfield area in Vermont, beautiful part of the country. And I'm happy to be back because we met in 2016 when I rolled through on my own tour. And we just stayed in touch, and I'm happy to be back because she's released a new album. It's called Bottle Collection, and she's here to perform a few of those songs off the album. So I'm going to let her take it away here with the first song.
All right. Thank you so much for having me. This is called Someone to Need Me.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Very well done.
Thanks.
So before we dive into the interview part of this, I want to make sure I get this out here. JennaRiceMusic.com. That has links to her social media, the music itself, show dates, things like that. The album Bottle Collection is out. It's on iTunes. She's also got CDs and vinyl that people could probably order, right?
Yeah, I'm going to be selling both the CDs and vinyl online. I haven't quite worked out the kinks of that, but it will happen.
Perfect. And you have a perfect sound for vinyl too. When you told me that you actually made the records, I was a little bit jealous. I can imagine what those sound like, and I'm excited to get my copy.
Yeah, I was really excited when I found someone who was able to do really small batches of vinyl, because it was something I really wanted to make happen.
Yeah, it's a process too. I mean, it's a labor of love, and it's like finicky. I know you kind of with the test pressings and things, it can be a process for sure.
Yeah.
But working that out, in my mind, there's nothing that sounds better. So
yeah.
Now, and this was your first recording process, right?
It was, yeah. It's taken me 3 years to get it completed, so it feels really good to have the finished product in my hands.
That's amazing, because I could have sworn you told me when we met that you wanted to do this, and you were thinking about it. You were in the early stages of developing the album, and now to actually have like a physical thing you can hold and say, yeah, this was it. And I mean, it's an incredible feeling.
Yeah, it's been a pretty cool journey. A lot of I couldn't tell you how many times I tried to quit and give up on it, and it's had its ups and downs, but it's been a really amazing learning process.
I know what you mean. Yeah, it can be infuriating at times when you have the idea and you want to hammer it out, but you just can't get it the way you're hearing it, and yeah, it's definitely a process.
Yeah, that's true.
What was because you and I are alike in that we typically perform solo, but you did the same thing I did on my last album, which was bring in like players. You played with a band. You played with some songs. You approached differently. How did you kind of come into that, bringing other players into the sessions with you?
It really just sort of happened one piece at a time. I couldn't say that I had a plan from the beginning, because for the most part, I had some friends who kind of helped me kickstart this project and get it going, but for a good part of the project, I was making kind of all the decisions about what instruments to have on what tracks on my own, which is not something I really had ever had experience doing. So it really kind of I just took it one step at a time, and I was like, I think I hear a harmonica here, and I'm lucky enough to be a part of a community that really has a lot of incredibly talented musicians. So I was able to get I think there are maybe almost a dozen different people playing parts on this album, and all of them are people who I'm lucky enough to call my friends.
Wow, yeah, and that is a beautiful thing to be part of a community like that. How did that? Did you grew up around that? Like where they're just people playing music, and that's how you got into it?
I started writing songs when I was, I think, 14 or 15, and based on hearing my music, you might not guess this, but I was a diehard Green Day fan.
Okay.
And actually, if you give them the chance to give them a good listen, the Billy Joe Armstrong, their lead singer, is a really incredible songwriter. He writes some beautiful lyrics, and they tend to kind of get lost in the fray of all that. But he's an incredible songwriter, and I think that if I had to pick someone and say that is who inspired me to write my first song, it would be Green Day. Anyways, I was in my teens, and I at some point decided that I wanted to go and play music in front of people. And I lived right down the road from this place called the Skunk Hollow Tavern, which had an open mic every Wednesday, still does. And so I went in there one day, and I only had one song that I felt prepared to play, but I got up there and played it, and people really liked it. And I remember like laying awake all night being so excited about it. But that is a place with a lot of incredible songwriters as well. So that really kind of, I think, fed my soul and sent me in the direction I've ended up in.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, it's nice when you find that conducive environment where, people are supportive and everybody's doing a little bit different thing, but, it's a collective, and I think that's very important to a community. And it's interesting you mentioned Green Day, because I have this theory. I mean, it's all interconnected to me. Like, I think, like you said, sometimes if the music's louder or faster or heavier, the lyrics get lost. sometimes.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that they're not great lyrics, you know, or sometimes like you might overlook the musicianship of a folk song or something because you're thinking about what they're saying and not so much the music. But I think it's amazing how many different how many different genres kind of piggyback off each other in ways. So
yeah, definitely.
I think that's really nice. Well, if you don't mind, could we hear another song off the album?
Of course. So this is the title track of the album. It's called Bottle Collection, and it's actually, funnily enough, it's a song that when I wrote it, I almost discarded it immediately. I wrote it in about 5 minutes. It was one of those ones that kind of wrote itself, and I looked it over, and I was like, eh. But I gave it the benefit of the doubt and played it through, and I made it like halfway through, and I just was a sobbing puddle on the floor. And I guess that was enough for me to give it a second chance. So this is called Bottle Collection. Johnny left this morning to fight overseas. I knew I'd never see him again. Even if someday he made it back to me, left pieces of his broken heart in Afghanistan. He's gone, never coming back again. Gone, if he makes it back, it's only half of him. Johnny came back home to me today. Wanted so bad to be okay, but every night he'd sit down and drain that bottle, fill it back up with his sorrows. He put a cork in it and bottle it away. Every dime he had he'd used to pay to add one more bottle to his collection. Every time he swore it would be the last one. He's gone, never coming back again. Gone, if he makes it back, it's only half of him. Well, Johnny tried so hard to get himself on track. 12 steps forward, but then 1 step back. Nothing lasts forever when it's being torn apart. For Johnny, there was no cure for his broken heart. He's gone, never coming back again. Gone, if he makes it back, it's only half of him. Finally came the sad day. He could no longer outrun. He left the bank, his house, and us his bottle collection. He's gone, never coming back again. Gone, if he makes it back, it's only half of him. Gone,
you write really vivid songs. You know, it's like, you can hear it. There's a lot of honesty in there. It's unapologetic. And those character songs that you have that I really enjoy, they're powerful. They are.
Thank you.
How do you I feel like there's a hurdle songwriters have to jump when they kind of step away from writing about themselves all the time, and then they write about what they observe or they write about what they see. And I was wondering where you find the characters for a lot of your songs.
None of my songs, I would say, are really based on one person. I always kind of start them off with one person and make it maybe a verse before it's completely morphed into someone else. So usually I draw inspiration from multiple people I know or people who I have met who just kind of get all balled up into one new character. I've never really I've written a lot of songs about myself, purely about myself, and I just never end up liking them. I don't know if it's just because it makes me uncomfortable or if I find it more interesting to make things up, but I really find that the songs I write about other people end up being my favorite songs.
Yeah, it's a cool thing, and that creativity aspect of it is something that I enjoy in my own work, because it's just good old storytelling, you know. It's more fun. I think it's more fun for the writer, really, but it broadens the horizons a little bit. It allows us to reach out into aspects of life that we might, not know firsthand, but we've seen and things like that. So again, JennaRiceMusic.com, that'll have links to the social media, Facebook, Instagram, that stuff. And then the music itself, upcoming show dates. If you're in the Vermont area, she branches out a little bit and gets around. So you might be able to catch a show somewhere. So definitely check out the website again, Bottle Collection on iTunes, and then CD, the physical copies, CDs, and vinyl. Those will be able to be ordered. So all that can be found at JennaRiceMusic.com. I appreciate you taking the time to sit down. This is fun to catch up like this.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, so I appreciate everyone listening as well. We'll be back again next month with another episode. So y'all do me a favor and believe in yourselves, and we'll see you next month. Thanks.